Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Where's this button I'm looking for? Off!
I'm getting too old for this.
No, I'm getting too old for this. Motherfucker.
Meanwhile,
God.
so
Even to me to turn something, I slipped up on it.
yeah. Should we just go based off of division on how things have gone for these teams?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, I got it basically pulled up anyway. I can just talk about a couple of
Go with
moves.
it. Go with it.
All right. So two of the big moves that Toronto came up with was signing Anthony Santander to a 5-year deal.
Big deal.
And
Big deal.
they end up landing Max Scherzer for a 1-year deal.
Tiger uppercut.
So Scherzer, if he can stay healthy, stabilizes their rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And Santander stabilizes their batting order.
Yeah, they've also got people like Jeff Hoffman, Yimi Garcia, Josh Walker.
The problem is they haven't taken care of Vladimir Guerrero.
No, and Vladdy is still looking to end up dipping out eventually.
Yeah, I think he's out of there after this year.
They
didn't take care of him immediately.
No. For Baltimore, they've added Tyler O'Neill, who came over from leaving us, and they added Gary Sanchez to a 1-year deal.
I think Sanchez is finished.
I see Sanchez DHing.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, that's the only reason, because look who you've got around you. You got Gunnar Henderson, and you've got Adley Rushman.
Not only that, you got Jackson Holiday.
Yeah.
You got the kid as being a kid that's loving being a kid, playing a kid's game. You got Jackson Holiday.
Yeah. Tampa really didn't do all that much this year.
Yeah, they were too worried about a stadium to do anything right now. They got bigger problems, and I hate seeing that for them. I hate seeing that.
They ended up adding Ha-Sung Kim and Danny Jansen. Again, Jansen comes over from Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they got a minor league deal with Eloy Jimenez.
I hate seeing what's happened to Eloy since he left the White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
Since the White Sox traded him. White Sox traded him because he couldn't stay healthy.
No.
Luis Robert had a better time staying healthy than Eloy Jimenez, but we'll get to the White Sox a little later. I don't know. If Jimenez can stay healthy, there's a power stroke there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's got to stay on the field.
And that's the biggest thing. And unfortunately, he tends to have a problem doing that.
Mm-hmm. He only played half of the games that he was available.
Yeah, exactly. Dealing with the Red Sox, as we know, the two biggest moves was Garrett Crochet and signing Alex Bregman. But we also ended up landing people like Walker Buehler, Aroldis Chapman, Justin Wilson, and Adam Ottavino.
Buehler.
And we also got a catcher, Carlos Navarez, in a deal with the Yankees.
What does Bregman mean for Boston? Coming to Boston.
Well, obviously we know Devers is going to stay over at third, which means Bregg's going to have to probably slide over to second. What this does is it adds a bat that, while it has pop, was also better known for average.
Yeah, he is a slasher. Breggy's a slasher.
Yeah, and I think that's what we need, is somebody that could be guaranteed almost to be on base to kind of help bolster what we've got for an offense.
Right.
Because, I mean, we lost Tyler O'Neill, and he produced, I think, high 30s in the home runs and like 105, 110 RBI.
Is Trevor Story still with you guys?
Yeah, he's still short.
Okay. So where the problem? Where does this leave Bregman? Unless
Bregman would have to play second.
Yeah, unless Devers slides over, and he's not doing that.
No, because they got Casas over at first.
Mm-hmm.
So Breg would have to slide to second.
Yeah, Bregman's going to be at second base,
which I think would take a little bit of a load off of him, to be honest.
I think it would.
For the Yankees, they haven't signed Rizzo and Verdugo yet, but I don't think they're too worried about it.
It's the Yankees. They're going to flirt with everybody till they get the right people they want.
Well, as we know, they signed Max Fried, Devin Williams. They got the trade in with Cody Bellinger. They signed Paul Goldschmidt. The Yankees are stocking up again.
Goldie gone. What is Goldschmidt in that lineup? Bronx Bombers for real.
Yeah, and of course we know the Yankees lost Soto, Gleyber Torres, Clay Holmes. Nestor Cortez went to Milwaukee. Dealing with the AL Central, and this is where you're going to be enjoying things.
Yeah.
Dealing with Cleveland, they re-signed Shane Bieber. They re-signed Carlos Santana.
Mm-hmm.
They got a couple other small pieces, but it doesn't look like they made too many big moves.
Right.
So I don't know what Cleveland is thinking right now, unless the ownership is drinking from Joe Boo's rum again.
Maybe.
The Royals really didn't do much either. They added Jonathan India in a trade with the Reds, and they re-signed Michael Lorenzen. That's literally it.
Where is Droid when we need him?
Not feeling well, or sleeping, or one of the two.
Yeah, I haven't heard. He hasn't been active in a chat lately.
I've seen him on Discord a little bit, but not much.
Okay. He's probably working a lot too.
Yeah, I think so.
And he's probably
okay. For the Tigers, they signed Jack Flaherty. They ended up getting Gleyber Torres and Tommy Kaline. So they're bolstering up their pitching staff, and I think that's one of the biggest holes the Detroit Tigers had was pitching.
Yeah. Yeah, it got him to the division series, but it didn't get him through the division series.
The only big move that Minnesota made was adding Harrison Bader for a 1-year deal.
That's it. Realize the thing, a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Which means the offense is going to be on the shoulders of Carlos Correa again.
And Correa and Buxton.
And Byron Buxton.
Dealing with the White Sox. A lot of 1-year deals.
Yeah.
Martin Perez, Austin Slater, Mike Tauchman, Bryce Wilson, Josh Rojas, Michael A. Taylor. You guys made a trade with the Phillies to get Tyler Gilbert and a trade with the Cubs to get Matt Thesis.
Mm-hmm. A lot of 1-year stopgap deals.
I see this being another rebuilding year for Chicago.
Yeah. Looking at a lot of those, it's a lot of 1-year stopgaps.
Yeah.
To get the farm system bolstered.
Now,
once the farm system gets bolstered, then they'll really compete again. But they got to build around Luis Robert. They jettisoned their young pitching staff way too early. Lucas Giolito, Dylan Cease, Garrett Crochet. Yeah, Droid just got back to me. Just been working a lot. Okay.
Yeah, we hear you, Droid.
Yeah.
Now,
glad he's all right, though.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. The West for both divisions seem to really stack up.
Start with the AL West.
With the Angels, some of the biggest moves. Jorge Soler comes over.
Mm-hmm.
Kenley Jansen gets signed to a 1-year deal. Travis d'Arnaud to a 2-year deal.
That's surprising. But d'Arnaud still has a lot in the tank.
He does. They even got Yoan Moncada.
From us.
Yeah. He's on a 1-year deal. Tim Anderson is on a minor league deal.
Yeah, Anderson's running out of space and running out of time. He wore out his welcome with us after the 21 season. After that incredible 21 season where he helped lead the Sox to a division title, he's going down the tubes.
Yeah.
So he's about out of time and he's about out of there. The biggest move for the Angels is Mike Trout sliding over to right field.
Yeah, that is going to be a bit of a change for him.
Well, he said in an interview he's preserving the legs and preserving the body because he knows his time is coming to an end. I mean, if you could believe it in the blink of an eye, he's played 14 seasons, all with the Angels.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? 14 seasons.
Doesn't seem possible.
Doesn't seem possible at all.
Now, dealing with the Astros.
They lost Kyle Tucker to the Cubs. Preston's gone to the Cubs.
Yeah.
Breggie's gone to Boston.
Kikuchi ends up going to Los Angeles. Verlander's now with the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Ferguson's with the Pirates. Jason Hayward's with the Padres. But in the addition to things, Astros ended up getting Isaac Paredes and Hayden Wieneski from the Cub trade.
Mm-hmm.
And they've also signed Christian Walker to a 3-year deal.
Paredes is going to be huge for them at third base.
Yes, massive defense.
Huge. He's going to be huge for them at third base. Can he equal the production offensively that Breggy brought to Houston? Probably not, because Paredes is more of a slasher.
Right.
Just like Breggy is, but Breggy had the pop in his bat. We'll just have to see how Paredes fits in that lineup.
Right.
But don't get it twisted. To be the West champs, you got to beat the West champs.
Mm-hmm.
Do not get that twisted. Because remember, they lost Carlos Correa, and then 2 years later, they won a World Series.
Never know what's going to happen. Dealing with
Go to Seattle.
Okay, I was about to say, where the hell do we go with the Athletics? But
we can save them for throughout the season.
Yeah, because they didn't really do all that much outside of Severino, Urshela, and Arias.
Nah, they didn't do much.
Dealing with Seattle, believe it or not, even less.
Really?
Seattle's notable acquisitions, re-signing Jorge Polanco and getting Donovan Solano.
That's it?
That's it.
And they lost their television announcer, Dave Sims, to the Yankees. He's going to be the new Yankees voice. And next week, I had a chance some time ago to talk to Dave Sims. Y'all will see that interview in its entirety one day next week.
Now, the Texas Rangers, oh boy.
Oh, dear.
Re-signed Nathan Eovaldi, 3-year deal. Trade with the Marlins to get Jake Berger.
Mm-hmm. And I remember Jake Berger.
They signed Jock Peterson.
Does he have a lot of pop left in his bat?
He's still got decent pop in his bat.
Okay.
They signed Chris Martin, relief pitcher who once came from Boston.
Mm-hmm.
They've got new catcher Kyle Higashioka that came over from San Diego.
Okay.
Jacob Webb, Hobie Milner, Sean Armstrong, looks like a bunch of bullpen arms. Luke Jackson, Robert Garcia, and Luis Curvelo.
Okay.
Notable losses: Carson Kelly, Grant Anderson, Jose Leclerc, Kirby Yates went to the Dodgers. Oh my God!
It's the Dodgers.
Yeah,
it's the Dodgers.
That's everything in the American League West that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
The
To the
Braves.
National League West.
Okay, I was going to go with the East, but we can start West. I don't care. I'll scroll down to it. Notable acquisitions for the D-backs. Corbin Burns on a 6-year deal, and Josh Naylor coming over in a trade with the Guardians. That's really it.
Hurt Cleveland.
Yeah, Naylor came over from Cleveland.
Yep, that's going to hurt Cleveland, losing Naylor, losing a bat in that lineup.
Yeah. Some of the ones that ended up in other places. Christian Walker, obviously, to the Astros. Peterson to the Rangers. Josh Bell went to the Nationals.
Oh, Bell's back home.
Yep.
Well, actually, he's not back home because Pittsburgh drafted Josh Bell. But Josh Bell's back in familiar territory.
Yep. And looking through what the Dodgers have done, wow.
Do we have to?
I can make it easy, and I don't know. It's just a lot here.
Okay.
Blake Snell on a 5-year deal. Roki Sasaki on a $6.5 million deal. Teoscar Hernandez got re-signed to a 3-year. Tanner Scott signed to a 4-year. Clayton Kershaw re-signed to a 1-year. Hyesung Kim re-signed to a 3-year. Kirby Yates on a 1-year. Michael Conforto on a 1-year. Blake Trinan on a 2-year. And Kike Hernandez on a 1-year.
Yipe. And
Yipe.
Uh-huh.
And mind you, they literally only lost 3 big names for notable subtractions, being Walker Buehler to Boston, Flaherty to the Tigers, and Gavin Lux in a trade with the Reds.
That's it?
That's it.
To be the champs, you got to beat the champs, and I don't see it happening.
And the champs restocked in a big way because Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates are absolute flamethrowers.
Yes, they are.
Dealing with the Giants, Chibata, there's only 2 moves they made.
One of them is Justin Verlander.
1-year deal. The other one is a 7-year deal for Willie Adames. That's it.
It's interesting. But the Dodgers, damn.
Yeah, I know. That's
just plain damn.
That is insanity.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is just not fair.
Dealing with the Padres, since we're staying around out west, they signed Nick Pivetta to a 4-year deal. Elias Diaz gets re-signed to a 1-year. Connor Joe gets signed for a 1-year. Jason Hayward gets signed for a 1-year, and Yuli Gurriel is reportedly on a minor league deal that could get bumped up.
Yuli Gurriel, former Astro. Oh boy.
The Rockies didn't even make a dent in what they needed.
Mm-hmm.
They acquired Jacob Stallings, re-signed to a 1-year deal, and then signed Kyle Farmer, Thero Estrada, and Scott Alexander to 1-year deals. 2 infielders and a left-handed pitcher.
That's it, and that's all.
That's all for Colorado. The rest of this is
bunk.
Some of these are just holy cow.
Yeah.
The Cubs have a lot they did. The Card
Tucker. They got Kyle Tucker. They got Harold Presley.
Ryan Presley.
Why did I say Harold Presley? Ryan Presley. Where the hell did I get Harold Presley from? Old Mariner. Old Seattle Mariner.
You want to know who they're replacing Cody Bellinger with out there in Chicago?
Kyle Tucker.
Bellinger could also play first. Justin Tucker's on a 1-year deal with Chicago.
Justin Turner.
Yeah. Oh, Red Deuce himself.
Oh, Redhead himself.
You want to know who's even having a worse time than us thinking about trying to defeat Los Angeles?
Who's that?
The Cardinals. They didn't do jack.
They lost more than they gained, if they gained anything.
They haven't gained anything. They still got Matt Carpenter as a listed free agent, Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, and Keenan Middleton, and they lost Goldschmidt to the Yankees and Andrew Kittredge to the Orioles.
Lance Lynn may wind up back on the south side.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Lance Lynn, the ERA champion of 2 years, may wind up back on the south side. Just depends on the money, because the Sox are going with a youth movement. But you got to have an arm to stabilize that rotation. Got to have someone to stabilize that rotation. And once upon a time, it was Lance Lynn. And his name is escaping me. It's a lefty. Dallas Keuchel.
Yes.
Stabilize that